Our next theorem, assume A congruent to B mod M. If D divides M and D divides A, then D divides B. So given that A congruent to B mod M. A congruent to B mod M means M divides A minus B. Since D divides M and M divides A minus B, we can say that D divides A minus B. That means A minus B congruent to 0 mod D, or A congruent to B mod D. Given that D divides A, D divides A implies A congruent to 0 mod D. Or we can say that 0 congruent to A mod D, 0 congruent to A mod D, and A congruent to B mod D. Apart from these two conditions of congruence, we can say that B congruent to 0 mod D by the reflexive property of congruence. That means D divides B. Next theorem, if A congruent to B mod M, then GCD of AM and GCD of BM are equal. In other words, numbers which are congruent mod M have the same GCD with M. So we take D equal to GCD of AM and E is equal to GCD of BM. So here we have to prove that D is equal to E. So we'll prove that D divides E and E divides D. So given that A congruent to B mod M, that means M divides A minus B. M divides A minus B means A minus B is a multiple of MK, or A is equal to MK plus B for some integer K. Since D is equal to GCD of AM, we can say that D divides A and D divides M. That means D divides the combination A minus MK. A minus MK is nothing but B. That means D divides B. So here we get D divides A and D divides B. That implies D divides GCD of A and B, which is nothing but E. That is D divides E. So conversely, we given that E is equal to GCD of BM. That means E divides B and E divides M. E divides B and E divides M means E must divide the combination also. That is E divides MK plus B. That is nothing but A. That means E divides A. Here we get E divides A and E divides M. That means E divides the GCD of A and B. GCD of A and B is nothing but D. That is E divides D. From these two conditions, we will get E is equal to D. That is GCD of AM and GCD of BM are equal. Next theorem, if A congruent to B mod M and if 0 less than or equal to absolute value of B minus A strictly less than M, then A equal to B. So given that A congruent to B mod M, that means M divides A minus B. If A minus B not equal to 0, then by the property of divisibility, M is less than or equal to absolute value of A minus B. But here given that B minus absolute value of B minus A is strictly less than M, therefore which is a contradiction. Therefore we will get A minus B is nothing but 0. That means A is equal to B. Next theorem, we have A congruent to B mod M if and only if A and B give the same remainder when divided by M. So first suppose that A congruent to B mod M. A congruent to B mod M means and we assume that A and B gives different reminders when divided by M. That is A gives remainder R1, that is A equal to some MQ1 plus R1 by division algorithm, 0 less than or equal to R1 strictly less than M, and B gives remainder R2, that is MQ2 plus R2, where range of R2 is 0 less than or equal to R2 strictly less than M. Here we have to get the reminders are same, R1 and R2 are equal. We subtract these two equations that is A minus B is equal to M times Q1 minus Q2 plus R1 minus R2. Given that A congruent to B mod M, that is M divides A minus B. That means M divides left hand side of this equation, and M also divides M times Q1 minus Q2. Therefore, M must divide R1 minus R2. That means M divides A minus B minus M times Q1 minus Q2, which is nothing but R1 minus R2. That implies M is strictly less than absolute value of R1 minus R2. But here the range of R1 and R2 are strictly less than M. Therefore, their difference also strictly less than M, which is a contradiction. Therefore, R1 minus R2 must be equal to 0. That means R1 equal to R2. The remainders are equal. Conversely, we assume that A and B gives the same remainder when divided by M. That means R1 and R2 are equal. Therefore, A minus B is nothing but M times Q1 minus Q2. Here we have to prove that A congruent to B mod M. Here right hand side is divided by M. M divides right hand side. Therefore, right hand side is equal to left hand side. Therefore, M must divide A minus B. That implies A congruent to B modulo M. Next theorem, if A congruent to B mod M and A congruent to B mod N were GCD of M and N are 1, then A congruent to B mod M. So given that A congruent to B mod M, that means M divides A minus B, and A congruent to B mod N, that means N divides A minus B. Moreover, GCD of M and N are 1, therefore Mn must divide A minus B. A divides A minus B, M divides A minus B, and N divides A minus B means their product also divide A minus B. That is Mn divide A minus B. Therefore, we will get A minus B, or A congruent to B mod Mn. Our next session is residue classes and complete residue system. We start with a definition. Consider a fixed modulus M greater than 0. We denote A cap the set of all integers x such that x congruent to A mod M, and we call A cap the residue class of A mod M. That is, A cap is nothing but collection of all those integers x such that x congruent to A modulo M. Or we can say that is nothing but collection of all those integers x such that x equal to A plus mk, where k is equal to 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, etc. Then clearly A must belongs to A cap, because if we substitute x equal to A here, then the congruency is satisfied by this element A. Therefore, A must belongs to A cap. So we consider M is equal to 4. Then 1 cap is nothing but collection of all those integers such that x congruent to 1 mod 4. That means set of all 1, then 5, then 9, 13, etc. 2 cap is nothing but set of all x such that x congruent to 2 mod 4. That is 2, 6, 10, 14, etc. 3 cap is nothing but 3, 7, 11, 15, etc. 4 cap is nothing but 4, 8, 12, 16, or 4 cap is nothing but equal to 0 cap. Therefore, 0 cap equal to 4 cap is equal to 4, 8, 12, etc. So, in this way we find the residue class of 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Then clearly the element A must belongs to corresponding residue class. Next theorem, theorem 5.10. For a given modulus M, we have A cap equal to B cap if and only A congruent to B modulo M. So first we assume that A cap equal to B cap. So we take an element A belongs to A cap. A belongs to A cap implies A belongs to B cap, because A cap and B cap are equal. B cap is nothing but collection of all those elements such that X congruent to B modulo M. Here we get A belongs to B cap. Therefore, A must satisfy this congruence. Therefore, we'll get A congruent to B mod M. Conversely, we assume that A congruent to B mod M. So we have to prove that A cap equal to B cap. So we assume that A congruent to B mod M. We take an element from A cap. Let X belongs to A cap. X belongs to A cap if and only if X congruent to A mod M, which is an if and only statement. If X belongs to A cap, then X congruent to A mod M. If X congruent to A mod M, then X must belongs to A cap. Then if and only if X congruent to B mod M, because A congruent to B mod M. Therefore, X congruent to B mod M. X congruent to B mod M if and only if X must belongs to B cap by the definition of B cap. Therefore, we'll get A cap equal to B cap. Second statement, two integers X and Y are in the same residue class if and only if X congruent to Y mod M. So we take two integers X and Y that belongs to the same residue class A cap. So here we have to prove that X and Y are congruent. X congruent to Y modulo M. X and Y belongs to A cap. Here X belongs to A cap means X congruent to A mod M. Y belongs to A cap is Y congruent to A mod M. That means X congruent to Y mod M by the reflexive property of congruence. So we get if two integers belongs to the same residue class, then X congruent to Y mod M. Conversely, we assume that X congruent to Y mod M. X congruent to Y mod M. Then by first part, if A congruent to B mod M, then A cap equal to B cap. Therefore, if X congruent to Y mod M, then X cap equal to Y cap. We have X belongs to X cap and Y belongs to Y cap. Since X cap and Y cap are equal, we can say that X and Y belongs to either X cap or Y cap. X and Y belongs to X cap and X and Y belongs to Y cap. That means X and Y belongs to the same residue class. Move on to part C. The M residue classes 1 cap, 2 cap, etc. M cap are disjoint and their union is the set of all integers. We know that 0 belongs to 0 cap, 1 belongs to 1 cap, 2 belongs to 2 cap, etc. M minus 1 belongs to M minus 1 cap. Here 0, 1, 2, etc. M minus 1 are all distinct elements and they are incongruent modulo M. Therefore, 0 cap, 1 cap, etc. M minus 1 cap are disjoint. So now we have to prove that their union is nothing but set of all integers. We take an element other than M minus 1 and then we apply division algorithm with M. That means X can be written as some MQ plus R. That means X belongs to R cap by the definition of R cap. R cap is nothing but collection of all those elements such that X congruent to R modulo M, and we already said that which is nothing but collection of all those elements such that X equal to MQ plus R. That means here we get X equal to MQ plus R by division algorithm. That means X belongs to R cap, where range of R is 0 less than or equal to R strictly less than M. That means if we take any element other than M, then that element must belongs to R cap, which is nothing but either 0 cap, 1 cap, etc. M minus 1 cap. So we'll get if we take any element, that element must belongs to any of these residue classes. Therefore, their union must be equal to Z. By the previous example, it's clear. 1 cap is nothing but collection of 1, 5, 9, 13, etc. 2 cap is 2, 6, 10, 14, etc. 3 cap is 3, 7, 11, 14, etc. 4 cap is 4, 8, 12, 16, etc. Therefore, 1 cap union, 2 cap union, 3 cap union, 4 cap is nothing but Z, or 0 cap union, 1 cap union, 2 cap union, 3 cap is nothing but Z. Next definition, the set of M representatives, one from each of residue classes, 1 cap, 2 cap, etc. M cap is called complete residue system modulo M. That means we consider 0 cap, 1 cap, 2 cap, etc. M minus 1 cap. We take a representative from each residue class. We know that 0 belongs to 0 cap, 1 belongs to 1 cap, 2 belongs to 2 cap, etc. M minus 1 belongs to M minus 1 cap. We represent this as a set. Then collection of all these representatives, each from each of the residue class, is called a complete residue system, or 0, 1, 2, etc. M minus 1, or 1, 2, 3, etc. M. In the same way, we can say that A, 2A, 3A, etc. MA is also a complete residue system. Any set consisting of m integers in congruent modulo M is a complete residue system. Next theorem, assume GCD of Km is equal to 1 if collection of A1, A2, etc. M is a complete residue system modulo M. So is Ka1, Ka2, etc. Km. So it's enough to show that the elements Ka1, Ka2, etc. Km are incongruent modulo M. So we assume that they are congruent. Kai congruent to Kaj mod M. Then by a non-theorem we can cancel K, that means Ai congruent to Aj modulo M, which is a contradiction because collection of A1, A2, etc. M is a complete residue system. Therefore, they must be incongruent, which is a contradiction. Therefore, Kai and Kaj's are incongruent modulo M. They are all incongruent modulo M. Therefore, the set is also a complete residue system modulo M.